All right. It looks like we are live and been an interesting day. Um, but before we get to that, let's say hello to those of you who are in the peanut gallery. Let's see. Grish was first, of course. And I don't know if I can pull this off. Upload new video. Where did I put this? We'll do this. I did not get to modifying this quite yet. I need to find the other piece of source material to make the modification. Did it not? Well, that sucks. All right. Well, I guess I won't do it that way tonight.
Hello, Josephus. Josephus is in the peanut gallery.
Okay, I had my fun. So I had this idea, and for the life of me, I could not find the video of Joe's, shall we call it a rear end alignment. I couldn't find the video. I know I've got it saved somewhere, but I don't know where the heck it is. But so I had sent the Hey Josephus video to Tony, and I thought, oh well, it'd be perfect to show that whack and do the sound effect of a whip crack right as the impact is being made. But I couldn't find the video, so I couldn't make the modification today. But Tony was kind of yucking it up when I suggested the idea, so maybe I'll have to spend a little more time searching for that piece of video footage, but that would sure be interesting. Let's see. Josephus says 5 minutes. Oh, I have time. Pulling sprinkler wire, but we'll be listening. Interesting. Rear end alignment. That was a hilarious comment. Well, I aim to please, right? Okay, so I mentioned that it's been an interesting day. Well, so last night I ended up going to bed around 10:30. So I'd set an alarm for like 4:45 this morning. At about 4:05, I was wide awake. So yeah, it's been an interesting one. I was awake until, I don't know, 10:30, 11 o'clock this morning, and then I took about a 45-minute nap just to recharge a little bit, and I've been going ever since. But it's it's been an interesting day. So during the members stream on Friday night, I got to reflecting upon the PowerShell shorts and how they aren't living up to my expectations based on the shorts I did in August on Linux commands, right? So starting tomorrow, and I've got them uploaded. I don't have them scheduled yet, but starting tomorrow, there are going to be 2 shorts a day. I'm going to try this for a week. There are going to be 2 shorts a day. So the morning short is going to continue for at least another week-ish on PowerShell commands. And then you'll get an afternoon short, which I'll probably schedule for 2 p.m., which will be Proxmox commands and going through some examples of those. So I know there have been people that have expressed interest in the Proxmox commands, and I think it's a good idea, a good primer, I guess you could say, to get familiar with the Proxmox commands directly from the command line or over an SSH session, more likely. But use this as sort of a first exposure before digging into Terraform or I don't know, Terraform or OpenTofu, or you know, you could probably do some of this stuff even through Ansible. Because Ansible does have the ability to run scripts or run specified commands. But having exposure to these commands, to me, is a good precursor to delving down those avenues, because if you know the basic operation of the commands, then you can better anticipate what some of the parameters are going to be when you go to set up things in OpenTofu or Terraform, which most people are using. But you know, I think it's a logical progression. So yeah, anyway. You could make a fresh one. And who would enjoy that more? You or Ashley, which would be administering the rear end alignment, or the rest of us that are going to yuck it up laughing? Getting up early, afternoon naps, getting old. Yeah, well, I didn't really intend on being wide awake at 4 o'clock. Unfortunately, that's what happened today. And I think part of that is just because we've had another warm spell here in Michigan. So, you know, the last few days it's not been unbearably hot, but it's been touching 80, and you know, like right now it was 80 here today. I think it's like 76 outside right now, but I've got the AC running just to compensate for all the lighting and the electronics that I've got running in here to keep it tolerable. Let me check with my mechanic. Oh my. um, yeah. So, anyway, well, I had originally on Friday when I did the member stream, I had a bigger idea on what I was going to do for the stream tonight, and that just sort of fizzled into the ether. And so I decided, hey, I'll do a stream, and we'll just sort of catch up on what my plans are for a few extra shorts the last half of the month. Being tomorrow is the 15th, we'll run it. We'll run the 2-a-days probably until the end of the month. I'll commit for at least a week, right? I'll commit for a week, but we'll do 2-a-days for a week. See how it goes. I've got the Proxmox shorts recorded. That'll get me through a week from Tuesday, because I do have a short vacation coming up next weekend. So I will be probably not streaming next weekend. But I'm still hopeful that with doing some extra shorts, refocusing those on a more Linux adjacent topic, that things will even themselves out. So I've got tomorrow's videos, or tomorrow's shorts, for both the morning and the afternoon uploaded. I do not have them scheduled yet. I may do that during the stream tonight. I may wait until after the stream. Regardless, I will have to be up a little while after the stream tonight. I've got to finish a quote and get sent out. I'd wanted to have the quote out on Friday, but things just didn't fall into place the last half of the past week. So, anyway, I'm going to Illinois because it's been. I don't think I've been down there this whole summer. I had plans to go down there in July, and then with the locker project and the project manager causing a near panic attack on my part, I decided that I was not in the right headspace to be driving that many miles, and so I canceled the trip. So this time I am hell bent on going. I need to change of scenery for a few days, and I'd much rather take a longer vacation, but it's what I can work into my schedule right now. We've got one coworker out having a difficult pregnancy, and yeah, it's just been kind of sporadic being down a staff member, right? So anyway, other than that, I stand to make a little bit of money on this side project I'm doing for another library. That's what the quote is about. And I've got stuff more or less picked out. I just need to finish building the quote and send it out, right? So just going to order computers off Amazon. The the place where nonprofits can get discounts have not updated their refurbished computers enough that they are feasible given the pricing that they're asking for something that's actually running Windows 11, right? Whoops. So that's sort of the scoop there. So let me jump back over here and let me make this a little bit larger. So I'll run through a few of these commands that will show up in the shorts the next several days. But at least you'll get to see them properly formatted here. I mean, I have made the text larger, but at least it's the full widescreen. So, doggone it. Once you're connected to your Proxmox machine, the QM command is the one that you're going to use for virtual machines. And they've got a command that's PCT, which is for containers, you know, CT being container, right? So QM list is going to list your virtual machines and give the status of those virtual machines. You've got your ID, your name, status, memory, and boot disk size. And if they're running, you get a process ID, right? So if you want to start a VM, it's QM start, and then the ID of the VM. And provided it doesn't come back with an error message, and this one did not, you can say QM status 1205, which is the one that we started, and it should say running. They've also got QM stop and QM shutdown, whether or not you want to simulate unplugging the machine or doing a graceful shutdown, right? What is the next one? I'm going to go out of order on here a little bit. I'm going to say QM list snapshot. Bet you can't figure out what that one does. 1020. And that one's got just one snapshot listed. So if we say QM snapshot 1020, and then we can specify the name of the snapshot, and then we can specify description as live demo. And so now it's got a new snapshot. And if we go back and we do list snapshot, it's going to show you that it's got one called demo, and the description is live demo, and it obviously gives you the time that snapshot was taken. You've got QM suspend if you want to put it into a hibernation-like state, and QM resume. Pretty obvious pair of commands there. QM reboot is pretty obvious. QM cleanup, I think it's 1020. How did I do that before? History, grep, QM cleanup. Okay, so we could do 274. So QM cleanup, then the number of the VM, and then the 2 digits afterwards will run us first. So this is telling us it's still running. So we could do QM stop 1205 and rerun the cleanup command. And it started and finished the cleanup. So QM cleanup, if we just do that by itself. So the command is QM cleanup, the virtual machine ID, clean shutdown, that's a 1 or a 0, and then guest requested is a 1 or a 0. Anyways, that gets you through all the ones I've recorded up to this point. I've got some other ones that I haven't gone through in that much detail yet, and so we'll get to those, right? We'll get to those. Okay, so let's take this back off the screen. Hello, Kalua CLI. Welcome. Okay, so that was my little demo for tonight. Yeah. My thought process at this point is I will probably do another public stream on Wednesday because I won't be able to do anything Friday night or Sunday night, more than likely. Unless my buddy down there wants to do a stream where he comes on, and then we might do something. It may not be scheduled much in advance, though. I imagine we're probably more going to be hanging out and spending time at the brewery while I'm down there, and just working on a couple projects. He's got a network port that on his wall that is not working, so I'm going to re-terminate that for him and see if we can't get that working again down in the home theater room in the basement. So that'll be one thing, and then I think there's I don't know if it's a controller or if it's a game console. He's got a stripped screw on it, but I've got some. I don't know what it was. I don't remember what it was called off the top of my head. It was a liquid that you put on the screw head. And it gives the screwdriver a little extra grip. So I'm going to take that with me, provided I can put my fingers on it. If not, I'll ship him a bottle. Yeah, it's called Solder It Screw Grab. Sorry about that. So this is the stuff, and maybe I should do. This is going to be a an Amazon associate link. So if you choose to buy this, I will get probably half a penny for the sale. I mean, it's only $10, so the chances of me making much of anything off this is slim or none. But I had something that was stripped, a screw that was stripped on a machine at the library, and that's why I got this. But I've got some other projects that I've used it for as well, and it's actually worked out pretty well. Anyways, I do recommend this. I would suggest not using it with a electric or battery powered screwdriver. Use a manual screwdriver, but in my experience, it does help. So I'll take that off screen again. All right. So we've got PM3 in the house. Hello, welcome. And Alonzo is here as well. Welcome to both of you. Looks like we've got 7 people watching right now. If everybody could do me a solid and hit that like button, I would very much appreciate it. Yeah, this has been kind of fun, and yeah. So nobody has been bugging me about it, but I have temporarily put midweek news on hiatus, just because of some of the things that were going on around here the past few weeks. I am hoping to bring out a big episode maybe for Wednesday, if I can pull off getting it finished up and edited between now and then, and that way there's at least one additional long form before I go on vacation. But I've been trying to get a few things done around here. I've been doing some organizing and trying to get rid of some papers or get them prepped to shred. And just to jump back into some projects that I had been pushing hard on for a while, and then it got super warm here, and I had sort of got off the rails on that project. So I got a little bit done last night and today, but I more spent time getting plans laid out for more shorts and for what I need to do between now and when I leave on vacation next Friday. So hopefully I can get some things hammered out and ready to go, move things forward a little bit. I'm hoping that once the beginning of October rolls around and the cooler weather settles in, even if it's only 5 or 10 degrees cooler, then I may be more inclined to make the long form videos again. I've just not. I've recorded a bunch of stuff and I've deleted nearly as much footage as I've recorded most of the summer. I've worked on a few side projects that some of which have come to fruition. Others have not seen the light of day, but you know, Hollywood can say the same thing, right? So yeah, I guess that's kind of where I'm at the moment. Nothing terribly exciting happening today. So you know, I did get a few things in during the burst of energy that I did have, mostly early this morning and later this afternoon. But you know, it's that time of year when I have to start working Saturdays again. Only normally I was working one Saturday a month, and since we've got a coworker out right now, I've been working like 3 Saturdays a month. I think that's this month and next month. So this coming Saturday I've got off, and then the following Saturday I've got to work at the library again, and then it's you know, another 3 on 1 off type of thing going through most of October. So it is what it is, right? I I will get an extra day off during the week to make up for that. And since I won't be having to take my dad to any more appointments, we've got another, well, a cousin-in-law, I guess, of his, to take him to the next couple of appointments that are going to be multiple hours, because I can't keep blowing vacation time for his procedures. I was on board for 2, but it sounds like this is going to be an ongoing thing for a while. So it is what it is, right? You know, your parents start getting older, and you've got to start picking up the slack when they have to have procedures where they can't drive afterwards, right? But you know, I guess the flip side is, you know, some people don't have their parents around at all anymore. So I guess I'm lucky to have the old man still around, but you know, it does eat into my vacation time, and since I've got 3 siblings, you'd think that maybe one of them could pick up some slack, but the old man doesn't want to tell 2 of my siblings, and the other sibling that knows about the procedures is in Illinois, so he can't exactly, you know, take time off from his government job to trek to Michigan for a procedure, right? So anyway, um, let's see. Spending the weekend in Charleston, South Carolina with the wife. Very nice. What's the Firefox add-in at the left bar? You're talking this right here. It's not an add-in. It's just moving the tabs to the sidebar. That's built into the newest versions of Firefox, the last couple of versions of Firefox. So it's for the most part, I like it. There are still a few things that sort of annoy me about it, but with the tab groups, which take that off. With the tab groups, and I don't have all of these in tab groups right now, but with the tab groups, I can take and just say save and close group, which has been helpful in my quest to find a way to use less RAM with Firefox. So I've been using the vertical tabs for a while. I started using them and I switched back to the regular tabs, and then I switched back to these when they updated the functionality again. And I've more or less stayed with this, but having the tab groups and then having the tab search as an option as well, which I think Firefox got one or two versions before Chrome got it as a default feature. Now I can't live without it in either browser. It makes my life so much easier being able to search for a tab rather than scrolling through and trying to find something, or opening a new one and then not closing it when I'm done, right? But anyways, I mean, if Firefox would just fix their RAM usage problem on Mac OS, then I'd be happy. Because I've noticed that on Linux and Windows, it does not seem to have, I would call it a memory leak myself, but I don't know the code well enough to be able to say that with any real definitive authority. But that's what I suspect, is that they've got some sort of a memory leak that is exacerbated on Mac OS. But it is what it is, right? It's been more than 20 years that I've been using Firefox, and you know what they say, old habits die hard, right? So let's see. Feel ya, I just take care of my parents, all rest not even showing. Yep. Well, so I grew up in a family business, and I was dragged into helping with it at a pretty early age, around 12. And you know, other than times that I've moved an hour or more away from where my father lives, you know, I've always ended up helping out. And even when I was living further away, I would still be stuck doing tech support for them remotely, right? Thankfully, that part has got a lot easier these days. And this is where I give a shameless plug for Action One, even though they're not a sponsor of the channel or this video. But with their patch management solution, you can get up to 200 endpoints for free and be able to patch Mac OS or Windows systems, with Linux support coming real soon now, which could be this fall and it could be next spring. I'm not going to put it past them. Their Mac OS rollout was delayed multiple times. So I'm not expecting anything different when it comes to their Linux rollout. That being said, theoretically, they should be able to reuse parts of the code that they built for the Mac OS support um, on the Linux agent as well. Um, it's just a tab bar. I forgot this function. Yep. Um, Working with containers, I think it's useful when I want to get different sessions that are independent. Yep. Um, and I've dabbled with tab containers as well. I probably should revisit that because I know the plugins for that functionality have progressed since the last time I looked at it. There was some annoyance that I had with the way it worked that caused me to more or less abandon it. And I don't even remember what that annoyance was off the top of my head. So, well, um, I would have said the same thing before the judge ruled on um, the whole Google antitrust case, where Google can continue to pay the Mozilla Foundation and Apple to make Google the default search engine in Firefox and Safari, respectively. So I suspect Firefox isn't going anywhere anytime soon, but if they don't get their collective heads out of their butts and stop focusing on all this AI crap where they're trying to keep up with the Joneses, they will kill it. And then I'll be forced to use a Chromium-based browser because, I mean, let's face it, Flurp and Zen are not going to survive without Firefox upstream. It just won't happen. They don't have the resources, either one of them, to do all of the development and to do their custom UI work without Firefox being there as a product to build upon. Would you ever give up on Firefox? I've thought about it a couple of times. Because honestly, there are things that are being done that the Mozilla Foundation are doing right now that really just annoy me. I don't need to have AI built into my browser. Um, you know, I think as an add-on, fine, but built in, you know, automatically there after you install it, nah. I'm okay. I don't need it that bad. And that's what things like GPT for all and uh, Olama has their own GUI now, and then LM Studio are all for. You know, I like the idea of having a local AI box that is accessible anywhere on my network and beyond. If I want to throw, tail scale or zero tier or netbird on that box, then I can access it when I'm away from home as well. But primarily I use local AI, and most of what I'm using it for is just for bouncing ideas off it, for structuring, um, helping to structure my thought process on how to approach videos or generating topics or things of that nature. I'm not quite to the point where I'm willing to let AI write me a full script that I'll read verbatim, but uh, if it generates parts of a script and then I make it more human sounding after the fact, I guess I'm not totally opposed to that idea, but I'm using it sparingly at this point. And I don't really do scripts per se anyways. I more do outlines. Um, so it is what it is. Yeah, real soon. Famous last words. I mean, not that anything could be as late as Windows Vista was. Did you see what I sent you the other day on LinkedIn regarding bending spoons and Vimeo? I did not. I don't get on LinkedIn that often. Let's see. I've mostly been getting requests from random people on LinkedIn that I don't know, and I don't really have a desire to connect with. Let's see. Let's see. Vimeo follows the path of fellow video platform Bright Cove in selling out to bending spoons. Yep. Well, I guess I can just write off Vimeo for anything in the future now. Well, I at this point I don't have anything good to say about bending spoons. Yeah. Well, it is what it is. I don't have a use for bending spoons, and I think a certain amount of consolidation in the market is going to happen. I mean, I've seen it over and over the last 40 odd years that I've been around tech. Happened in the car industry. It happened, in the manufacturing industry in general. And now it's online video platforms. So it's one of those things. I can only hope that we're all around to see the demise of bending spoons, because I think they're just a bunch of opportunists, and they're not doing anything good but making a cash grab, um, and taking platforms and jacking up the prices on them for minimal um, development investment. Yeah, Libre Wolf and Water Fox, and there's half a dozen others that are out there that are built on top of Firefox that would all go away if they can't, merge and find a way to work together. And even then, I would question whether or not they could make it work, and in any sort of long-term fashion. I don't want to get my hopes up too much. AI for me is just saving time for search and research. I don't need I don't need that even in my hot dogs, hot DOS. I think in people and his old love PCs. Yeah. Um, yeah. I mean, Microsoft is hell bent on putting AI everywhere because it's the hot thing right now. I did see an article that there is an AI front end, and I think it just attaches to Olama on the back end, as far as a facility for managing different models, but it's a purpose-built front end for the GNOME desktop, right? And it's something I'll check out. It's pretty new right now, so I'll wait for a couple of revisions to happen before I make a video on it. But I will probably do a dedicated video on that at some point. Yeah, I just skimmed through it. I didn't read the whole thing point by point, but yeah, I mean, Vimeo definitely had some advantages compared to YouTube in the past. Whether or not it still has those advantages for anything other than business customers, I'm not really sure. I haven't really dabbled in Vimeo in a bunch of years. So, yeah, interesting how Bending Spoon's model is to buy dying companies. Yeah, I mean, once upon a time, companies would just enter into a restructuring phase and try to emerge on their own, and now they're just trying to sell to Bending Spoons and get some cash and go live in the Bahamas or something. Which I guess I couldn't blame them for wanting to do that. So I don't know. I just we're an hour, almost an hour in. So we'll go for a few more minutes so that we can compensate for the 5 minute starting soon video that ran at the head of this. But I think things are going to fall into place in the fall here, and I'm hopeful that some of my long form videos can pick up a little bit of steam as we go forward. So I guess I could just come back over here. I think that's the one I want. So let's see. Um, it's that short and sweet. I don't know. Do I want to do a new playlist for this? Maybe I'll do a new playlist. I'll do that. No. Proxmox, virtual machines. Yeah, I guess that's good enough. No, that's not what I want. So schedule this for tomorrow's the 15th. That one can go live at 2 p.m. So that's scheduled, and then I'll schedule this one after the stream is over, and then finish working on my quote, and then I can get some sleep. Anyway, it's probably not that interesting to watch me schedule tomorrow's videos, but anyway, we're making some progress. We got another bump in subscribers, so we're up to 2,687. So it's definitely been lucrative as far as new subscribers from the shorts, which is great. That's part of what I wanted to get out of them. So now it's just adding back the long form videos, which I may I'll probably just record a long form Proxmox video and do basically what I went through in the stream tonight in a condensed form and put that out so people can actually see the widescreen formatting on that versus the scrunched formatting for shorts. So I think that's useful and complementary, and you know, could be useful for linking those shorts to a long form video. So yeah, I have done my fair share of all-nighters, and after about 45, I have not really been interested in pulling that many all-nighters anymore. Once in a while, I'm still up till 2 or 3 in the morning, but by and large, I like to be in bed by 11:30. And you know, last night going to bed as early as I did, it was just a matter of being exhausted from a long week between, you know, my work week and then spending the whole day on Wednesday with my dad at his doctor's appointment so I could be his chauffeur, basically. You know, and since I'm over 50 now, I tend to cherish my sleep a little bit more than I once did. Yeah, I used to have a similar attitude. I will admit, but um, I get to the point now that I either can't stay awake or I can't stand looking at computer screens anymore. I hit a threshold, and then I'm over it, and I'll, you know, go sit and read or listen to music or um, you know, work on some other project that doesn't require a computer. Which, admittedly, those are seem to be few and far between, other than just household cleaning, which nobody likes doing that, but it's got to get done at some point, right? It's either that or people break down and hire a maid or house cleaning service, I guess you would say. Sorry, people, I'm not feeling particularly politically correct tonight. Um, I don't know. I've not got to the point where I'm ready to break down and hire that out. There are a couple things that I would love to get some help on, but mainly it's just doing some lifting around here, and I would have to be here to help do that, right? So I'm trying to find other ways to compensate for not having another person that can do heavy lifting. So you know, it is what it is. I've been called an enterprising individual uh, on more than one occasion for coming up with solutions to problems. But hey, Vimeo laid off 10% of their workforce before the sale. Well, I mean, look at even Amazon's layoffs and Microsoft's layoffs and all that. You know, were they really dropping people, or were they returning to pre-COVID levels? That would be my question. Yeah, and work days, not vacations. That's fair. So anyway, we are at an hour and 10 minutes, and the pre-roll video is only 5 minutes, so we've surpassed the hour marker, which I at least wanted to hit. The plan right now is to do another live stream on Wednesday, and then it'll probably be just shorts while I'm on vacation, and then the following Wednesday I will be back. Whether I do anything over the weekend, you might get a short that's recorded while I'm down in Illinois, just to say, hey, I'm here and having fun type of thing. But I'm really not planning to cart a bunch of equipment down there with me. I'll take a laptop, but I don't even know if I want to take headphones and, extra microphones and stuff like that with me or not. Excuse me. At this point, I just kind of want to detach and decompress a little bit while I'm gone. Drink some beer. Yo ho ho and a bottle of rum, right? Maybe I can come back and report that I found a sugar mama in Illinois and that I'm moving, but I don't see that happening. So on that note, thank you all for being here. If you've not done so, please like the video. And as I mentioned, I am planning to be back Wednesday and do another stream. And hey, be on the lookout for the shorts that are releasing between now and then. I'd be interested in any feedback on the Proxmox shorts and see what people think. Have a good night, everybody.